So today we're gonna make the best boxed brownie crunchy top that you will ever have in your life. But before we do that, I want to get to the reasons to be grateful. So in the last video, if you didn't watch it, I suggested that I would share something that I'm grateful for on every video. I encourage you guys to please go into the comments, not just my family. I want to hear from all of you guys. Please go in the comments and let me know what you're grateful for, and I will pick a couple out for the next video and share, so that we're just not thinking about how crazy and turbulent these times are. I also wanted to say that if any of you have a need and would like me to pray for you, please don't feel bad. Go in the comments and leave me a need and I will pray for you. I hope that everyone is alive, and well, of course you guys are alive, but I hope everyone is doing okay, and that you guys are really standing strong through all this chaos. So we're gonna do this really quickly so that we can move on to the video. The thing I wanted to share today is I'm grateful for all of you guys, and I'm truly grateful. I know it seems corny, but I really want you guys to know that I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys. I absolutely love connecting with you guys like this, and I hope that you guys are enjoying my videos. If there's anything else that you guys want me to make, or if you guys have any special requests, just let me know in the comments. So that's exactly what I'm gonna put in our blessing jar today. I'm gonna put all of you guys in here. Now, I picked out two of the comments to read. One of the comments come from Naomi, and this is, I'm grateful for the uplifting and encouraging people in my life. And I can definitely agree with that one. We all need encouraging people to surround us. So that's going in the jar. And then another one that I got was from someone that refers to them as B, and it's grateful that I got my sister's love and her recipes too. So that one obviously comes from my sister. I love you too, girl, and if there's anything you want me to do for you, or anything you want me to pray for you, anything that you want me to make as a recipe, just let me know, and that goes for any one of you guys. So I'm putting this away. Okay, now this is Ghirardelli brownies, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with these brownies. They are really quality chocolate. In my opinion, they're the best chocolate brownies that you can get from the grocery store. You want something that either has chips in it, either chunks, or this one is double chocolate and it has little chips in it. See, as you can see right there. Or if it doesn't, and you have like a mix at home but it doesn't have them, then you definitely want to get some unsweetened cocoa chips or semi-sweet chocolate chips and add it to your batter. And the reason why is because it helps to get that crispy layer on the top that everybody wants in their brownies, right? So obviously with the ingredients, you're gonna need a box of brownies, your favorite brownie box. You're gonna need some, this is La Lechera Dulce de Leche. This isn't just delicious, it also really helps to get that crunchy top. I do it at the end. I'm just gonna put some on the top, and you'll see how it turns out. It really makes a difference. You can use caramel that you make at home or anything like that, but I definitely recommend using a little bit of some kind of caramel on the top of the brownies. So the next thing we're gonna need is butter. Now I have some melted butter here. If you are using butter, you're gonna wanna add a little bit more. So this recipe called for 1/3 of a cup of butter, 1/3 of a cup of oil, I'm sorry, but I'm using melted butter. So I added probably a tablespoon more than 1/3 of a cup. And the reason why is because you're gonna need the extra butter to reach the fat content that the oil has. So just a little tip if you guys are using butter. Now, this will make your brownies a little bit fudgier and a little richer. So if you like more cake-like brownies or more of a drier brownie, then you definitely want to use oil. So of course we're gonna have 2 eggs. It calls for 1 egg, but again, I love that fudgy rich brownie, and this is just gonna add to it. And maybe a little bit of salt. I always add a little bit of salt in my baked goods. But oh wait, and some milk. We're definitely gonna use some milk. Now this calls for water, but I like it. I feel like it really adds a good consistency and a difference when you add milk. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. This is a 13 by 9-inch pan, and I went ahead and used either parchment paper or wax paper. You want to set down a little bit of butter underneath it so that way it won't slide around when you're trying to grease it. I just took a regular paper towel and put some butter on it and just greased it like that. So that's the pan that I like to use. If you want a thicker brownie, obviously use a smaller pan, but I like my brownies to be kind of thin, so that's why I'm using a 13 by 9. Okay, so now we have our milk. It's a 1/4 cup of milk, and it's just what the box calls for, so everything's ready. So we're gonna take a clean bowl and we're gonna go ahead and crack the eggs in here. Okay, so we've got our eggs. So before we add anything else, we're gonna whip these eggs, okay? And I'm gonna keep whisking this and switch hands and switch hands, just because I really want this to be kind of like a whipped consistency. So it might take a little while, but it'll be well worth it. Now I'm gonna continue to whisk these eggs because, again, I'm trying to get a little bit of air into the egg, and it makes for such a much better brownie. So I'm gonna continue to whisk this, and I'll be back in a second. So now our eggs are pretty whisked. I don't know if you can tell that there's a lot of foam at the top, and there's a lot of little air bubbles. So this is more or less, this is not at all like I would do it for a little bit longer if I had a mixer, but I'm doing this all with muscle strength, so I'm gonna leave it there. The next thing I'm gonna do is add my milk. I'm gonna add my milk, and I'm gonna whisk again for a little while. Not too long, but just for a little while. So I've mixed this to oblivion, and as you can see, there's a lot of air bubbles and a lot of froth at the top, and that's kind of what you're looking for, okay? If you have a hand mixer, you can go a little bit longer, but I wouldn't go too long because we don't want to turn it into meringue. So you want to stop at about this point. So now we're gonna go ahead and add the mix. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that a lot of it gets incorporated. And once it's at this point, then you can add your butter. There we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and mix. I'm gonna continue to whip this up. Now I do want to give this a good whip. It has everything, all the ingredients in there except for a little bit of salt. I'm gonna go ahead and add a touch of salt now. And you can add kosher salt if you want. If you do add kosher salt, you can add a little bit over a pinch, but I'm just gonna add just a little pinch of salt. You don't want a lot. Now we're gonna continue to mix this, and I am gonna go at it for a little while. I do want this also to become kind of frothy. Believe me guys, at the end it will be worth it. You know how they say that like don't over mix it because it can get tough. That's not the case with brownies, okay guys? I promise. I promise. Feel free to use a hand mixer, okay? Because my arm is about to fall off from all the whipping, but these are gonna be phenomenal, so. So I think we're ready. So we're gonna go ahead and pour this into our prepared 13 by 9 inch pan. Oh God, it looks so good. It looks so good already. Don't want to waste one little drop of it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to even this out as best as I can. And I am gonna give the pan a couple of whacks also. And I find that that is one of the best ways to kind of even out a batter. Now comes my favorite part, the dulce de leche. Now we're gonna take a knife, a butter knife, and we're gonna swirl it just to make it look pretty, you know what I mean? Just to make it look real pretty, but also to give the caramel to every single part of the brownie batter, because I'm telling you, you guys, this will give you a nice crispy top. So you want to make sure that the caramel is distributed all over the batter. And that's it. That's it, guys. This is it. I'm going to take my brownies and I'm going to put it in a 325-degree oven. Now, because this is a 13 by 9 inch pan, it's going to take a lot faster. And in about 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to take it out and I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to do. So I'll see you in about 15 minutes. I got in my pajamas because you cannot eat these brownies in anything else but your pajamas. But I just wanted to say that after about 10 or 15 minutes, you're gonna wanna take the brownies out and whack them on the counter again. Just like we did before to get the batter to be even, you're gonna wanna whack them halfway through the cooking time. This will make for a compressed but very yummy brownie. Trust me, I don't want to skip that part of the brownies, okay? So we'll be back when they're ready. This is so good.